So this morning I'm going to be walking over Southwark Bridge up into the city, up into Queen Street, and yeah, that's it, just as simple as that. Show you a few things of interest that I might find. Incidentally, this current bridge was completed in 1921, and the cast iron that you can see, the arches there, were manufactured up in Rotherham, Yorkshire. St Paul's Cathedral over there. Let's get going. One thing I did notice, just at the base of the bridge on the southern side there are these steps that go down to the river, and you can see there's a little archway underneath those steps. You can't see it now, but when the waves crash against it, you see the water spurt out of it. I've got a little bit of here we go. I've got a little bit of footage from a couple of minutes ago where the tide was a bit higher. It's obviously going down. There you go. So yeah, the tide's on its way out. Let's get up onto the bridge. Something else I noticed. It's that. Wake up, go to work, get paid, go to sleep. That is pretty much life, ain't it? For most people anyway. So that's Southwark Bridge Road, taking you down to the borough, and this is Southwark Bridge taking you into the city. I'm sure the view of the city here is going to be impeded a little bit by this bright sunshine shining into the lens, but I'm pointing it over there anyway in the hope that you can see it. Corporation of London, Southwark Bridge, rebuilt and maintained without burden upon public funds out of monies derived from the Bridge House Estates Trust. One thing you get on all these bridges now are these big lumps of concrete protecting cyclists from traffic and pedestrians from terrorist attacks. So that's where I just was down there. So that is looking upstream towards Blackfriars Bridge, on its way out of London as it meanders through West London on its way upstream to Oxford and beyond, Gloucestershire. There's the western edge of the city over there. That's St Paul's Cathedral. You can just see the tops of the Barbican Centre towers just peeking above them buildings there. There you go. Look at that, there's a DHL boat. Didn't even know such a thing existed. And something that I have noticed on Southwark Bridge is that you get these little alcoves and a life buoy inside every one, and a number there telling you to call the Samaritans, because you do get a lot of people jump off these bridges trying to commit suicide, and they're in every single one of these. If I look here now, got 4 on each side, so yeah, there's 8 of these, and this is what you can see from them. So you won't have to look through there no more. So I've shown you one of them. You've seen one, you've seen them all. They're all the same basically. So yeah, looking down there to the left is Shakespeare's Globe. They're just out of view where the Ukrainian flag's flying there. I don't know whether you can see it. It might be too far away on this camera. What I'll do is, because that sun's so bright, I'll wait until I get to the other side of the bridge and these buildings obscure the sun from the view of this lens, and I'll be able to film the other side. I'm not sure how well you're picking it up, but over there, that is Guy's Hospital to the right, the tall building, and obviously the Shard next door to it. And there, that train now going over that bridge is going into Cannon Street Station. And as I say, there's another Lifebuoy and another Samaritan sticker there. As I said, they're in all of them. Nice lamps on the bridge. Getting a better view here of St Paul's Cathedral. And that tide is well and truly on its way out. Another plaque to read here. Southwark Bridge, rebuilt by the Bridge House Estates Committee of the Corporation of London, 1913 to 1921. Opened for traffic by Their Majesties King George V and Queen Mary, 6th of June 1921. So yeah, now we've made it a bit further across the bridge, you can just about see Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. That's not the original structure, that's rebuilt. And behind that is the Bankside power station, which is now the Tate Modern. And beyond that, just about see Manhattan Lofts and what is going to be Bankside Yards just starting to appear on the horizon. And beyond Bankside Yards is One Blackfriars, that tall building now. Don't quite make the top 20 tallest buildings in London, but yeah, it's quite tall. Makes probably the top 25, I would think. So we've nearly made it to the other side. That building there is the Vintners Hall. You can also see the Millennium Bridge there, the wobbly one, just about. So I've nearly made it across the bridge. I'm going to cross this road in a minute, if I can do so without getting killed. Here we go. So right, I've made it onto the eastern side of the bridge, and as you can see there, on the north bank of the Thames is the little ship club. That's Walbrook Wharf there. And across the way there you can see the Shard and Guy's Hospital and all the other buildings around London Bridge. And just in front of Guy's Hospital, you can just pick out Southwark Cathedral. Just about. Let's have a little look down here. So there is the bridge from the north side looking south. Oh, and that's the Thames Fruiterer's Passage. Never heard of that. That's the Thames Path. That will obviously take you to the other side of the bridge without crossing the road above. And this is the little ship club. I've never seen it from this side before. I've seen it from the other side. I don't know if you can pick that up from here, but somebody's just graffitied on the side of the Cannon Street rail bridge. Shite. Walbrook Wharf. Let's have a little look at the history. The Walbrook Wharf is the point where the now buried Walbrook River fed into the River Thames. The Walbrook is one of London's lost rivers, a watercourse which has been lost to time and history. Well, there's quite a lot to read there actually. Who would even think this goes on in the city anymore? They're loading up this barge full of containers, probably rubbish, I would imagine. It looks like they're unloading it. So look, that's where the path is that takes you down the Thames Path, but obviously it's closed because this crane's in operation, so I'll walk back the other way. So I'll walk through here, I'll have a little look, and then I'll go up the other side, back up the Queen Street. A little bit of history. Old Southwark Bridge, new Southwark Bridge. Look at that, 1710. It's amazing. Look at the churches. Three Barrels Walk. So this is outside the Vintners Hall that I showed you from the bridge. Not much to see really. There's a nice view of Southwark over there. Right, let's make our way back up to the city. So this southern section of Southwark Bridge, where it comes into the city, is Queen Street Place. And the bridge is back that way. Thames House. And this is Upper Thames Street, which is one of the main routes east to west across the City of London. So I've made it over the road. I'm now in Queen Street, truly in the City of London now. Skinner's Lane. There's a little alleyway up here. I'm sure there's nothing in there at all, but I'm going to have a look. Yeah, look, nothing. Just a couple of doorways. You used to be able once upon a time to drive right over Southwark Bridge, right up into the city via Queen Street. But as you can see now, it's been pedestrianised and turned into a cycle lane. Got a plaque here to look at. Site of St Thomas the Apostle Church, destroyed in the Great Fire 1666. Great St Thomas Apostle. You've got these last remnants of old housing. What are they, Georgian? I ain't got a clue. I could find out, I suppose. There's Cannon Street up there. Or Cannon Street Station. This is Cannon Street itself. And there's them old buildings there. This is Cannon Street and the Sugarloaf pub, which I've always fancied having a little drink inside. I've never got round to it. Let's read what it says on the side here. The Sugarloaf. The Sugarloaf is situated on Cannon Street, which starts at St Paul's Cathedral and runs parallel with the River Thames for half a mile. Cannon Street was first known as Candlewick Street, named after the candle makers who used to live in the area. In the 18th century, the area of 3 Cranes Wharf, Queen Street and Upper Thames Street was home to several sugar refineries, but they were demolished for the building of Southwark Bridge in 1819. Prior to this, the area had been producing sugar for over 100 years. The area is now occupied by the Thames Exchange building at 72 Upper Thames Street. The Sugarloaf was a traditional form in which refined sugar was produced and sold until the late 19th century, a tall cone with a rounded top from which lumps could be broken off with sugar nips. Okie doke. There's an old PC monitor in there. So yeah, I've been up this in one of my other walks in the past. This pedestrianised slash cycle highway type thing. Sweetings. That's been there for years as well, that. I'll try and get it all in shot. Sweeting's restaurant. Oh, I'm in the way here. 39 Queen Victoria Street. Oh, this is the old Watling Street. That's the old Roman road there. So still in Queen Street. Let's make our way all the way up to the Guildhall. Well caught. Little offshoot of it there. I wonder where that goes. It wouldn't hurt to have a little look off there, would it? Let's have a little butcher's. Well, I didn't know this was here. Morning.
Morning.
So yeah, I was thinking this is going to bring us out to Bow Lane. I'm quite sure it is. Yeah, look, there's Bow Churchyard there, Bow Church. If you're born within the sound of the bells of Bow Church, you're officially a Cockney. There's not many of them these days. Here we go. This is Cheapside now. This was once the main thoroughfare in the city. It's not anymore, because the corporation have closed it off in the middle. So you can walk up and down it, but you certainly can't drive up and down it anymore. Not the whole length anyway. So we're crossing Cheapside into King Street now. That way's looking towards the bank and to the east, and that way's looking towards the west and St Paul's. Surprise, surprise, they're digging King Street up. Who'd have thought it? Look at Atlas up there, look. Outside Atlas House, surprisingly. King's House. Tramp Street. Prudent Passage. Prudent Passage. What a name. Right, so yeah, if you're at Southwark Bridge and you head north into the city, this is eventually where it will bring you, right up to the gates of the Guildhall, which was the only secular stone building left standing in the city of London after the Great Fire, or one of the only ones anyway. A lot of what you see now, what I'm going to show you, is later than that, but there are still some really old parts of the building, especially underground, where they found a Roman amphitheatre. So this is Guildhall Yard. There's the Guildhall Art Gallery, the Guildhall itself in front there, and this circle on the surface marks the spot where underground they found the remains of a Roman amphitheatre. That's the old building behind that facade there. Just about see it. Guildhall buildings. Right, so that's me. I'm done. This walk's done. There is a church behind that hoarding there. It looks like a church, but you get close to it, you can see it's actually a representation of the church that is behind that hoarding. Yeah, so that's my walk for this morning. It's done. If you walk north from Southwark Bridge, it brings you all the way to the Guildhall in the centre of London. And that's another walk done.